Let's start off with update on the homicide from Friday. There was a press release sent off Friday night. An arrest was made. I'll give you what I have. We don't really have everything. The why this happened, what led up to it, is questions we still don't have answers to yet. But just to recap, this was around 4:30 a.m. We had a report of a stabbing in the 3500 block of South Larch Avenue. Officers arrived and found a 45-year-old man deceased with some stab wounds. We later located another person that we believe is the suspect in this case. He had an injury to his lower leg. He was taken to the hospital, received treatment, and then taken to the law enforcement center. Towards the end of the day, we were able to get an arrest warrant issued for him. That was for second-degree murder, first-degree manslaughter, and aggravated assault. That warrant carries a $1 million cash bond. The suspect is Jordan, Jordan, Benedict, Benedict, Adams, Adams, and he's 35 from Sioux Falls. The victim is from Sioux Falls. I said he's 45. I'll spell his name, Chitprasong. His last name is Amphavannasouk. Probably the big question that we have is what happened, and we don't know that. We had several witnesses that saw the altercation taking place and identified the suspect in this case. We don't know what led up to it. We're still working on trying to figure that out. I don't know if we're going to have any luck with that question specifically, but doesn't appear that anybody else was involved, just those two men.
You said the suspect was injured. What was the extent of his injuries, and do you know how he was injured?
It was cut to his lower leg. How he was injured, no, I don't know that we have that information. There's some speculation, but I don't know that we have an exact answer how he received that cut to his leg.
Looks like he was released from DOC custody on March 11th. Is that kind of frustrating to see someone just let out and then bam, they're committing crimes again?
Well, the best I can say is there's a process in place. So you can't keep everybody locked up forever. There's a process in place. Some people are released. It could be parole. It could be, they completed a portion of their sentence and they're released from that. People commit crimes. It happens. I mean, it'd be nice if people didn't commit crimes. It'd be nice if police didn't have a job to do, but the reality is we have a job to do. And when things like this happen, it's our job to investigate it, find out what happened, find out who's responsible. So we know that there's a lot of people that have been involved in the criminal justice system and most likely will continue. That really doesn't change our job. Our job is to find those that are responsible for committing that crime and then hold them accountable. And then once it gets to the courts and then certainly corrections, they have their own processes in place from there.
Do the victim and suspect know each other, or do you guys know that?
That I guess I don't know. I'll have to do some checking on that. I didn't see anything if they knew each other, but I don't know if that's clear yet or not, if we know that there was a connection between the two of them. Anything else on that? Okay. I got probably one big thing on the log, and that was one of the robberies. We had two robberies that happened. The first one was Sunday morning. This was around 9:45 a.m. and this was outside the Sunshine downtown, 500 block of South 2nd Avenue. We had, one thing I didn't get was the victim's age. Our victim is 50 years old. She had left the store and bought some groceries, was putting those groceries in the back of her car when the suspect came up and basically just started hitting her. She was hit several times in the head. He kind of made a comment that he was would shoot her, and so he was threatened to shoot her, and he was trying to take her car. She was able to get free of him. She thought she had her keys, but somehow during that struggle, he ended up with the keys. So then he left with her car. She went back to the business and then called police. Within a short amount of time, we were able to track down the car, and then an officer found that car in the 600 block of South Edward Drive. So this is a relatively short time after that happened. There was a short foot pursuit, and then the suspect was caught. He was arrested for first-degree robbery, aggravated assault, DWI, theft of a motor vehicle, possession of a stolen vehicle, obstruction, resisting arrest, and then underage consumption. He is a 20-year-old from Sioux Falls. Do you want his name?
Yes, please.
Last is Leclaire, Leclaire. First is Peyton, Peyton. Middle is Lane, Lane. This is another one that we probably don't have an answer to why he was looking to do this, why he targeted her, but there was no connection between the victim and suspect. So I think this is a good illustration of the communication that happens with officers. So you have one officer that's taking this report, they radio out the stolen vehicle information. We have other officers that are paying attention, and one officer found that stolen vehicle. If it wasn't for that quick communication and relaying those details, there's a good chance that he may have disappeared after he ditched the car. So I think this is, we talk about finding criminals in a short amount of time, and really what that comes down to is just that communication level that officers have, talking to each other, but then the other officers paying attention and looking for suspects. And in this case, we were able to find him and make an arrest in a short amount of time. And the victim did not have any serious injuries. Any questions on that? The other robbery, that was a couple of guys that stole some alcohol from a convenience store. They ended up threatening the clerk, but no injuries with that. No arrests were made. Most of the aggravated assaults are domestics. We did have one guy that was stabbed, but he didn't want to press any charges, so he only gave limited information. Burglaries are reports. That's pretty much it. Most everything is a report from there. There's one weapons violation that some guys were in a parking lot and said somebody threatened them with a gun, but no arrests, only limited information that we have on that. So that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
That's the homicide. Do you know if drugs and alcohol played a part in that? I know the area is kind of near the casino.
Yeah, I don't know if we know that drugs or alcohol. I didn't see anything. That'll be another thing I'll have to check on. I don't think so, but I don't know for sure on that one. I didn't see anything specific, but I didn't look for those pieces of information either, so I'll have to do some checking on that. Anything else? Okay, thanks.